Hello, Night City! Thank you for tuning in to WPMG 150, The Postmortem. I'm your host, David Jones, and we're here to give you some of the best entertainment this side of the corporate zone. But before we get into that, how about that gunfight in Pacifica last night, huh? I was at home in Rancho Coronado and saw the fireworks cross in San Mario Bay. Talk about fucking crazy! Might have been some RPGs even fired off. Hey, whatever the case, someone in South Night City pissed some folks off. Hell, maybe it was just a celebration for the upcoming TNT concert this weekend. Now, we all know the new trash has been burning up local venues, but can they milk their new corpo contract for all it's worth? Rumor has it their old manager, Chet, signed some crazy new band. He's got to be steaming after getting fired. Heard the drama was insane. Anyways, before we get back to the music, let's have a word from our sponsors.
At Rockland Augmentics, we believe that cyberware can restore functionality and improve quality of life. So whether you're in need of a replacement limb or just want to upgrade yourself to meet the changing needs of today's world, remember, Rockland Augmentics will provide the best cyberware you can get anywhere. Next time you see your doc, ask about our sports line. Rockland Augmentics. Cyberware for humans, by humans.
Chet by Ziggurat brings you Napa, the fastest neural agent processing accelerator on the market today. Talk twice as fast all night long. Chat, named the best chat app by Night City Today News. Brought to you by Ziggurat.
You won't be the wimp anymore with Pro Kibble. It's scientifically designed to rebuild the molecular fibers of your muscles, stronger, faster, and better with 12 creatic amino acids. And it's delicious.
Need a drink that can keep you going at 4 in the morning? Your chum's leaving you in the dust? You need Smash Energy. Smash! Kick your other habits in the face. Smash! High energy, high life.
Connecting your best possible self to your best possible result. Ziggurat. Connecting everything. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Hopefully everybody enjoyed our little starting soon reel. That was a fun thing to put together, and a lot of our phenomenal cast here assisted with that. So tonight we're doing our first episode, our first live play of our Cyberpunk Red campaign. We've never played this system before. I've never run the system before. I've played and run 20. Some of us here have kind of play tested a bit with 20, just kind of get an idea of how the system's changed from the old edition to the new one. So we'll be able to talk about that later. But let's get started, shall we? So as we're all here, why don't we have you guys, whoever wants to, tell everybody in chat about the band. What's this band all about? You guys are all in a Rockerboy band. You all are fighting against a corporation. What's the deal with your band? Whoever wants to talk.
Why don't we have the lead singer?
I'd say the lead singer
on,
needs to
you're
do
the
it.
The front man
All
gets
right.
to front the band.
So basically, our band is based around hating on the corporations, specifically a food corporation, which is Continental. So a lot of our music, as far as the feel, is very punk metal and Damn the Man, in essence. And then I'll start my character in the band. His band name is Vox Tone, and then I will pass it over to Nate to go next.
My character is CD Driver. I am the DJ, electronic mixer, live on stage, electronic music guy. I don't know. So yeah, that's me.
Cool, we'll go to Max.
My character is Max Olidian. I am the lead guitarist, Axeman of the band, and I'm super proud of my mohawk that I'm always sporting while I'm on stage shredding.
I'm Polytechnics. I am the bassist and tech head. I am often being yelled at for disassembling the toaster and making a microwave. So, yeah.
If you do it one more time, I'm road hauling you behind the bus.
Call your mom.
I'm Z. I'm the drummer. Always has a tongue ring. Really all anybody knows about him.
So if I recall correctly, everybody in the band wears like a helmet and like a mask, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes. So, like, if you see the picture behind me, this is the picture of the character without the mask. So I always got red contacts in, and then this is the character when I'm on stage in Vox tone. That's the mask I wear.
Yeah, and Polly's is a lot more sleek looking and almost has like animal ears at the top, like where the prongs come out. And I know that Z just kind of has this weird actual mechanical face looking mask that pops over that hides her entire face.
And a bright pink freaking hawk coming out of it.
Yeah, and Max has an all face mask too that's more metallic looking but has a massive green mohawk.
Yeah.
And CD's is
It's kind of like a Dayglow demonic with the upside down cross on the headphones and
the horns and the glowing eyes.
Yeah.
Definitely all got a secret identity essentially for the band. They're using it to kind of hide their identities from Continental brands so they can't get caught and fucked with. So probably a good idea. Now, not everybody in the group is a rocker boy. Vox Tone is the only rocker boy.
Yeah, I'm the only rocker boy.
Z is the net runner. Polly's a tech. CD is a solo. And Max is the Nomad of the group. And I actually think the group is using your Nomad vehicle to kind of live in currently, I believe. Isn't that true?
For a reasonable rent every month, yes.
You gotta get money somehow. So you guys have been primarily playing on the Datapool. Now, for those who don't know Cyberpunk Red, Datapool is kind of like social media, essentially. They've been doing a lot of shows that have been broadcast digitally and virtually. A lot of stuff that we're kind of seeing now with bands doing virtual shows. They haven't done a lot of actual in-person shows, and they just got a new manager, Chet, as we heard of
Chet.
in the reel.
Fucking Chet.
Fucking corporate asshole.
Chet Worthington is their new manager.
You brought this plague upon us.
Who has picked them up. Chet was previously the manager for a band called the New Trash, or TNT as they're called in Night City. And they fired him and signed with a corporate, label and a corporate manager now. So Chet...
Sold out.
Sell out.
You could say that, but they do really well. Like, their shows are pretty awesome. We'll get to because we'll actually have to mention some of their shows before we get to you guys' stuff because, they're more popular.
Because they sold out.
Now, keep in mind, I don't think we've said the name of our band yet. And
You have
actually,
not.
behind Nate is our logo.
Is our logo.
The name of our the name of
We
our
need
band
to
is
start a merch
Slogans.
shop.
We're Slogans for shirts.
It's the name of the band. Slogans for
SFS.
shirts. So they have just got kind of like one of their first real in-person gigs. A Nomad clan called the Sangre has basically hired them through Chet to come out and play, at night for the camp, essentially. And it's not going to be too bad of a deal. Chet hasn't really told you guys how much you make yet, but you do know he takes 10% off the top of everything you get. As a manager, as a facilitator, he takes 10%, and then the rest of you guys divvy everything up, 20% to each member after Chet's cut. So he takes a small cut, gets you guys going. Now, in terms of transportation for this gig, Chet hasn't set anything up. He's assuming you guys have wheels because Max apparently is attached to a clan out in the Badlands somewhere, which we didn't do, and we should do that, actually. Your pack or your family, the clan that you're with, we either need to attach you to one at some point or make one up for you, which we didn't do, and that's my fault because I completely forgot about it. All right, so that all being good and well, Chet gives you guys an address, location off of one of the main highways outside of Night City to meet him at about 8 o'clock or so to get settled in for your hotel accommodations before you guys go to the show. The show is probably about 30 to 45 minute drive from your hotel that he has you set up with, at least from what he's told you. So you'll meet at the hotel, get your shit all ready, and then head out to the Nomad camp for like tech and sound check and all that for probably about an hour before your gig starts at 2. Starts at 10. You have a 2-hour set and then a 2-hour after party kind of rider that you have to do. And then you guys are let go for the night. Probably be staying at the hotel because God knows what type of all manner of crazies roam the highways outside of Night City. So that's kind of the setup.
We get to sleep in the bed tonight
Yeah, you will.
as opposed to the van.
Yeah. Well, you could sleep in the van if you really wanted to, but he set up
No,
rooms for you
that's
guys.
okay. I want to shower.
So Chet gets you an address, get you a time to be there. You guys just going to drive out there? Is there anything you want to do in town before you go? Because now I'm assuming you guys just kind of move the van around from place to place as you guys need to crash, or if you're near a set you want to film a show at, you'll park there for the night and then move on. What do you guys want to do? Do you just want to head straight away, or is there anything you want to do in town first?
I forget whose van is it.
Max's.
Max's.
Yeah, it's Max's.
Yeah.
It's
Essentially,
the Nomad.
think of it like an extended minivan that's been kind of converted into a home on the road.
It's a conversion van.
Right.
Yeah, essentially. Did you, by the way, take any upgrades for the van? Like, because you actually buy stuff that will increase its stats.
The only thing I thought that I had spent all those on the increased like upgrades so that there was more space in there, so like everybody could crash there.
Let me take a look.
So it wasn't just like, 'cause I think the base one is like just basically like 1 to 2 people or something, and then you could upgrade it to where it has like a whole other area or something.
Oh, yeah. You can actually add a, I'm just going to close that up. I'm getting a bit of lag here, guys, so forgive me for a second. Yeah, you can actually have it to where you can actually have a living quarters in the vehicle with a shower and a stove and a sleeping area, things like that. It basically makes it essentially your home away from home, like home on wheels, which is what you want anyway, so that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what you got. And it's Max's van. Like it's not technically his. Technically, his clan owns it, but he gets to use it for whatever personal business he has.
Keep your eyes out for spare equipment and stuff like that, because I've got fabrication and
Yeah, did you guys want to do anything in Night City before you head out into the Badlands, or you want to just head straight away? Now, for Sean, for Max, the area they're having to go to is not that far away from Night City itself, at least not the hotel. It's a Sunset Hotel. It's pretty much like an old motel, a 2-level motel with all the rooms that face the outside. No lobby, no nothing. It's got a bar. You've probably stopped there a couple times before. There's a Chew 2 station right across the street, so you can get fuel there. It's like a minor oasis just outside the city limits. It's not that far away. This is really a dangerous part of town,
Based
So
on
real
where
quick-
we're... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to let Ray know that the song that we talked about in Discord before we started, the Ride on Your Hands,
Yep.
that is being debuted tonight at the concert. That hasn't been out there yet.
Okay. So not even on the data pool.
we should probably get out there early so we can catch some like local scenage and shit in
Based
our
on
outfits.
where we're being sent in the Badlands, is this like another Nomad territory that I'd be familiar with, or were we given like a name of what clan that it is that I might have some information about?
Yeah, the clan is actually the Sangre. They're headed up by a guy called El Pache, the Sweet. He is a rather augmented and cybered out. He's got a lot of chrome. He's a really chromed out African American man who has been running this clan for probably the past 10 years and has actually made it a pretty good presence in the area. So in talk between clans and nomads, the Sangre do a lot of smuggling, like just transport stuff.
Okay, that's what my family does.
Rumor has it they just did a big shipment to the 6th Street gang, which is a
Are
big deal.
they land-based or are they like
They're land-based.
land-based? Okay.
Yep.
That's okay. That's my background. That's what I ended up rolling in my background too, is land-based smuggling.
Okay. So yeah,
I'd probably
this-
know who they are then.
yeah, you would have heard of them. Nothing too much in detail. You know that Pache has been in charge for, like I said, like 10 years or so, and he's done pretty good for the clan. He's got them some pretty secure contracts, but they do work with literally anybody. They don't care who it is. As long as the credit is good and the Euro bucks are flowing, they'll move whatever you want. They're good at what they do. They have a lot of people. Like the clan itself is pretty big. They've got a pretty good sized fleet of vehicles.
All right. Well, yeah, if nobody has anything specific that they want to do beforehand, I'll just fire up the van and head out there with everybody.
I'm probably still sleeping, admittedly.
I would probably arrive to wherever our particular rendezvous point would be about an hour earlier than I should be.
Okay.
And I would just be sitting waiting. Just seriously and quietly.
So CD went off to do some of his normal business and came back like, all right, I'm gonna meet you guys wherever before we head out of the city.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, I live on the streets. So would it be normal for me to carry around my equipment, or would that be something that's like kept in a van, like in his van?
It would probably be safer to have it in his van. That way,
Okay.
no street punk's gonna just rip your shit. You know what I mean?
You don't want to stay. You too good to stay in a van with us, man?
I mean, I live on the street. That's what I'm saying. Like, do I,
You could live in the van with him. That's pretty much what.
Yeah, we all live in a van.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Max set it up for, is so that he could literally just go, you know what? We're staying in the van. We're moving downriver a little bit to get away from the heat, and we'll be somewhere else.
Always a
tomorrow.
mile apart.
Yeah, always a mile apart because you don't want to take ag damage.
2 miles.
Right.
2 miles.
It burns inside if
It-
you stay
it
in the
does.
same place.
Oh, it
Burns
really
because
does.
we're wicked.
It burns because you're wicked.
It's probably because
yeah.
of a death in the family.
Yeah, like a great grandfather or some shit like that. Like I don't.
Something like
A few more times removed, but yeah.
Yeah. It's just
The
one of those
shade
things.
of it all is all I have to say right now.
So we're just heading out then.
You're all going to
Pretty
hell.
much.
All right.
Basically.
So
I'm
a
gonna be a
refresher.
little.
You guys-
I'm not leaving out of the van right away. I'm gonna be fashionably late because I'm a fucking diva. That's just how I roll.
So literally, Max will be in the driver's seat of the van, just waiting. Like, where's this motherfucker? Why is it now? Where did he take a pee and fall off the fucking pier? Like, what's going on? You show up late enough. Now, if you're going to be parking around a van in Night City, you're going to be probably in the more shitty parts of town. So something like some of the old combat zones, South Night City, things like that. And there are certain areas you don't want to go, like Pacifica. Just don't go there. Just don't go there. That's, even for most Night City, that's really bad territory to go unless you have gang permission to go there. Now, a lot of the gangs in Night City are neighborhood focused. Like the Sixth Street are kind of they're like ex-vets from the corporate wars that are trying to protect neighborhoods, but they're still a fucking gang, you know what I mean? They kind of take over those blocks that they run over, they rule over. And in the old combat zone, which kind of rings Night City, because Night City is like this, as a matter of fact, so everybody in chat can see this, I'm going to take us to a map of Night City.
I'm going to stare at it on the stream.
There we go. So we got Pacifica down here. That's a really rough place. It was actually built up as like a amusement park and corporate playground, and then the money just fell through and it just fell in disrepair. You've got Haywood up along the south shore there. That's a lot of industrial stuff, and it's been being built up. The red areas are all the combat zones, right? And what combat zones are, it's pretty much your gang warfare territory almost 24/7. You don't want to go in the city center because that's where 20 years ago Johnny Silverhand set off a freaking nuke in Arasaka Towers and blew it to the ground. And that's still, it's not so much a lot of radioactivity right there right now. It's more just ruins and still in disrepair. The ash is still falling from some of the buildings. And as a matter of fact, from some of the fallout that's been going on and some of the crazy shit's going on with the corporal wars, a lot of times in Night City, when it rains red. Like literally rains red. For a long time, the city sky was just all red itself, which is why they called it, Cyberpunk Red. It's time of the red. So I assume that you guys don't want to really go anywhere super nice with the van where you stay. So you're probably going to be hopping from combat zone to combat zone or Haywood, in best case scenario. Because you don't really want to get towards Westbrook because you're getting the corporate area and a random van just parked here, especially a Nomad van, not going to go well for corporate security. You know what I mean? When you guys head out of Night City, you're going to take, the highway north and then east up into the Badlands. So once you get everything set for you guys tonight and start heading out through the city, you'll pass through a lot of the rundown areas of the combat zones. Probably pass through Old Japantown and Little China on your way on out. But once you leave those areas of the city, things just change because you just skirt Westbrook and start going up into the hills outside of Night City. And once you crest those, it's basically just open desert. Now, outside of Night City, usually around the southwest, towards Haywood and Santo Domingo, that's where you see a lot of the landfills that just cover huge acres full of land. It's just trash out there. And a lot of people go there to scavenge shit, to get tech, and, just spare supply. So that's a thing too, by the way, for your tech, if he wants to know. But you guys head the opposite direction, you go north. And as you kind of get out of the hilly portions of the area, the land's just outside of Night City, it's to get there in time to the sunset, you're looking at having to leave maybe like around, 7 o'clock. So the sun's already been going down. So as you guys head east, it's setting behind you, and it's just painting the entire landscape. There's the dirt and the scrubs and the small occasional trees, just this weird like crimson light because of the city and the pollution that's been around it. Now, as you guys get out into the Badlands, Max has been down this road 100 times. You kind of know this stretch of land. There's not a lot going on here. Nobody has actually laid claim specifically to these places. A lot of it really is just like old rundowns, what used to be like small little towns or hamlets nearby. Matt, you kind of almost get into autopilot at this point because you've just been down a stretch, like I said, so many times before that it's just, almost every nook and cranny out here from your own family, just hiking stuff back and forth along the stretch of road. As you guys get further into the desert, the towers of Night City start to recede, but since the sun is setting, you actually do see those live feeds kind of throw up into the air. And for those who haven't seen this, Night City has basically 3 advertisement towers that just shoot ads into the air. Imagine those old mall, like the directory ads that would scroll back and forth as you're like walking through the mall, right? But these are virtual and just projected into the air, streaming constantly over Night City. Image after image, it just goes on a massive loop. So
I have a mischievous question.
yes.
We hijacked that.
I was going to say, can we hijack that for our show? One of them?
You hijack that, and I will have no remorse for the corporate response that will come your way.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
that answer coming.
That's
All right,
if.
all right. In that case, can we hack it?
That's
and stream
if. I was about to
TNT's
say.
show?
That's if your Netrunner survives the experience.
That's fair.
Just to be fair, we could always use a drum machine.
Oh wow!
And we can use you for spare parts, motherfucker.
I'm the one with the gun.
DJ.
You're not the only
solo.
one with a gun.
I'm probably
I don't have a gun.
You don't have a gun?
I'm
How do you
broke.
not
I
have a
don't have
gun?
anything.
That'll come into
Actually, I
play.
take that back. I think I have a gun.
You should have had a
You
gun.
think you have a gun?
We're
I
fucked.
hope I have a fucking gun.
You don't have
You're
a
in
gun.
Night
We're
City. Like, how do you? I mean, you're
Yes,
going to
I
the
do.
Badlands.
I do have a
but, all right.
gun.
Okay.
Good.
Good.
Jeez.
I have a couple
good.
things. I got some tear gas. I got a sword. Yeah, we're golden. I'm
This
good.
guy was like, I don't know if I have a gun. I've got tear gas though. Come on.
Great.
This
Flashbang.
motherfucker's gonna be
forgot.
the
I
one
got some
starting the
shit.
fights, and we're gonna have to end them fast.
All right.
He's got rope.
He's good.
There's a stupid fucking rope.
All right, Charlie
rope
Brownson. Here's your fucking rope. All right, so when you guys get to the sunrise, it's this 2-level motel on the side of the road in the middle of the desert. There's a Chew-2 station right across the street from it. It's your gas station, essentially. When you get there, you can still just barely start seeing those ads still as you kind of pull up. It's a 2-level hotel. You can see Chet has already parked his car here. He's got this nice black sedan that's parked out front by one of the staircases.
'Cause of course
Yeah.
it fucking does. Fucking Chet.
He's waiting in the car, obviously. On the hood, you see his PR person, Tyra. She's wearing like this really conservative like pantsuit, and she's just leaning on the back of the car. You can see she's got like essentially like a tablet up, and she's just tapping away on it. As your van pulls in and the headlights hit the sedan, she kind of looks up at you, gives the van a nod, and just you see her reach back and knock on the glass windshield of the car. At that point, you see Chet's car turn off. His door open, he gets out, and he's wearing this nice suit. Now, Chet is dressed immaculately. He's wearing this black and charcoal gray suit. He's got his hair cut really, really close, like a shaved crop, essentially. He's got just the edges of some tattoos that are coming up on either side of his neck. No obvious cyberware, but you know he's definitely got some. Probably just internal stuff like, neural racks and things like that. As he gets out of the car and closes his door, he walks around to the back and just leans back against the trunk and waits for you.
I will park the van somewhere where it's lit. I don't want to park in a dark area where there may be vandalism that takes place, and I'll have to answer to my family. So I will park, and then once parked, I will get out and wait for everybody to then head over to where Chet is.
Yeah,
I assume
since
we all get out.
I don't operate in any function without my mask on. So once he stops the van, I'll slide it down and turn on all the flashy lights. And it's the job of the DJ to move boxes when we don't have roadies, since we can't afford them. And I'll just start opening up the back of the van and moving out big crates.
So CD brings up a good question here. Does Chet know you guys as real faces?
I would think, I don't know, because we have like
No.
basically personal computers, right?
Yep.
That
You
have
have
all
your
our
agents.
information on it?
So an agent
They're
is
called
kind
agents.
of agent's kind of like like a virtual intelligence that's in your phone essentially.
Can we basically work through that?
Yep.
Do we? All right, then yeah. No, I'll wear my mask when
Does it have to be
I'm
linked
doing
to
any
our real
function that
names?
involves with
Yeah,
this.
you can't trust a Chet. We know this.
We learned
Yeah.
that lesson.
That's fucking
We
true.
learned that lesson playing Alien.
They did. Chet was just waiting for them to get killed instead of him. So yeah, you can definitely get all the financial stuff and all the contracts can be done through your agents 100%. And you
Then,
can
yeah,
remain anonymous.
I'll definitely have my mask on.
All right.
Pretty much at any function where we're not in that van, I'll probably have the mask on.
All right. So you guys hop on out, making sure all your masks are on, etc. When you get out, the parking lot is partially overgrown in patches, like as you can see in the picture. There's a little bit of weeds cropping up in a lot of places. A lot of places where the asphalt's cracked. There are a couple people here and there outside, and there are some kind of makeshift tents outside on the second level as well, where you can see people are just selling stuff, small vending shit. So like utility things, that you would use, like some tools, and some are actually selling guns out of the back of a van, for example. Nobody's paying him any mind. This is just normal business. Chet's just kind of looking over. Chet doesn't have any bodyguards, by the way. He's never had any bodyguards when you've seen him. And you know that Tyra is literally just another executive. She's just there for PR. She's usually a photographer. She comes occasionally to some of your shows you guys do virtually and takes good setup pictures for you guys to have as like thumbnails for your clickables on the data pool. So she knows a lot of that aspect, a lot of the media stuff. He's more the negotiator in the contract type situation. So as you guys get off the van and start heading towards the car with Chet, he just kind of looks at you all, gives you a nod. Does like one of those like spread arms. It's like, hey, so what do you guys think? You get to sleep inside tonight. He just gestures to the hotel.
I'll make sure my voice is altered through the Vox tone or the thing that's in my throat.
Yeah, your
The
implant.
modulator.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll just basically static-y the waves so my voice comes out shrill and different. And I'll be like, well, it is what it is, Chet.
Why don't we head upstairs? There's actually a small bar. We can have a seat and just go over some of the details if that's cool with everybody.
Where are we setting up?
Lazily look back.
About a half an hour that way, and he points further east.
Okay, well, then I'll take my bag that has my guitar in it, and I'll sling it over my shoulder and close the van because I'm not walking a half an hour that way with
Not at all.
crates. Yeah, so I'll shut the frickin' van door, make sure it's locked.
Yeah, you shut it up just fine. Like you can see a couple people are just looking at the van, a couple like scrubs here and there. Nobody's eyeing the van, if you know what I mean. They're just kind of okay, whatever, business as usual, because they were like they probably got guns, because you do. So
I mean, we do, but we're not selling them, but we do.
Chet just kind of gestures you to follow him. He heads up one of the stairs, looks over at Tyra and says, "Hey, why don't you just mind the cars?" She's like, "Mind the car?" He's like, "Yeah, just mind the car." What? Who's going to do something to this car? He's like, "I don't know." And then he looks at Max like, "You're the driver. You know this area? It's safe to leave him out here, right? Like, she can mind the car."
She can mind the car. Yeah, she'll be
Yeah,
fine.
you can mind the car.
She'll be
Just
fine.
looks
I'm
at her,
gonna
she's-
I'm gonna lift up my arm and I'm just gonna press a couple of buttons. They don't do anything, except one of them sends a signal to this sound box that I have installed in the engine, and it just says "Viper armed." And the headlights and taillights flash twice,
that
and I just turn back around and keep walking.
that's an old callback. That's a
That is
real
an old
old callback.
Real old.
That's like a 15-year-old callback right there. So,
I think it's more
Z's
than
mask
Well
could
done,
raise a
Chris.
brow.
Well
The
done.
yeah, well done.
Eyebrow would be
Kudos,
great.
sir. Kudos, sir. But you guys head up the stairs with Chet. He leads you past along the balcony, past a couple of the rooms. You can see there's been like some areas where they've set up tables outside on this little walkway for people to sit at. And as you pass towards like the sign that's above the middle part of the hotel, there's actually a bar right inside that area. It's a small bar. It's got, once you walk inside, it's maybe about 30 feet across. You got a table on either side, and then you got a bar that just runs the entire length of it. There's a guy tending the bar behind there. It looks a little bit worse for wear, like he's probably been up for far too long at this point. There's nobody else in here. It looks like all the customers are either outside in the rooms or there just aren't any customers. Who knows? But Chet walks in like he owns the place, looks around, looks at the two tables, looks at the bartender and says, "Can we put these two together?" The bartender looks at you, all of you, and just kind of shrugs. Chet just looks at the bartender and says, "What do you mean? Why? I mean, by we, I mean you come over here and move them for us."
Z is actually going to growl, step around Chet, and just move the fucking tables.
He moves. And as Z starts moving the tables together, he looks at the bartender and says, that's coming out of your tip. Just saying. You see the bartender just give him a stare like, "I'm going to fucking shoot you for the night's over. Gonna fucking shoot you."
We might not stop him.
I'm going to stand there looking awkward and well lit, basically.
Awkward and well lit. Wait a minute.
Glowing green from my ears and eyes while not knowing what the hell's going on.
Chet will sit down at one of the ends of the tables and just kind of gesture to the rest for you all to have a seat, if you will.
Yeah, I'll sit.
I'll sit down.
He's like, "All right, so we might as well get down to like business as you guys are all having a seat. I've arranged for us to get about 4,400 for the show. So that means we're after we cut it all up and I get my 400 bucks, you guys all get 800 apiece. 2-hour show, 2-hour after party, and we're good to go after that. That's all we got. And they actually chipped in and got the rooms here."
Yeah, CD will just kind of shrug. Just
Cool.
won't say anything.
Z has no facial expression because masks, so she just nods.
All right.
Same thing with
So
me.
None of us have faces.
Do we have 2 hours worth of songs?
with breaks.
Sure.
you better. Like,
Yeah, we
we
do.
don't have
Of course
somebody
we do.
going on before you.
Well, I have a drum machine, so I mean, I can make 2 hours of music, but
Well, I only made like as Jeff for the band. I only made like 7.
7
But
hours?
I would assume if we're
7
doing
songs.
7 hours,
Oh,
but, you know, 7
So-
songs.
since we're like
So
a
those
heavy
are our
metal
main
punk band,
songs, I
what,
guess.
21 minutes?
Yeah, just drop them off like every couple songs. Put a main song in there.
Yeah. So here's what we'll do, guys. We'll do a really badass, super fast, hardcore song, and then I'll just dive right into like sustained, hammering drum machine sounds.
Z is
And,
just going to cross her arms and look at you.
I mean, do you want to bang on the drums for 2 hours? You
I'm
can
a
if you'd like.
drummer. That's what I do.
Okay. Well, I could push a button, and you won't have to drum.
I'm
But
going to take your button
if-
away.
Okay. Yes, we've got it. We're fine.
Okay.
2
Good.
hours.
Yeah, it's just 2 hours. You know, obviously you can take a intermission break. That's fine.
We're professionals.
We'll be able to get some drinks over there. Everything's going to be kind of taken care of, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, I do have Tyra set up to take pictures throughout the show, so she'll be taking some good shots for future promos. We get things all set up. I know that a couple of members of the family that we're going to are actually relatively big fans of you guys' stuff from the Datapool, so that's a plus. And we should be able to, you know, end on a good foot, which will get us some good acknowledgement and actually doing physical shows, and maybe that can spread and I can use that to leverage us into better places. Yeah?
Listen, Chet, put us in front of the people. We'll bring them. They will all come to listen eventually.
Yeah, that's fine. And I
What
hope they do.
about merch, man? Do we have a merch stand?
Do you have a merch stand?
We have merch. Right? We have
boxes.
merch?
We made extra shirts
We have shirts. We have
for the
merch.
show.
We even put slogans on them.
I can see if Tyra can set up like a minor booth, but I don't have any way to work it. You know, that's the problem.
We have slogans on. We're slogans for shirts, and we have slogans on shirts.
I'll tell you what, I
Right.
can probably, if you guys want to take a small hit each, I can probably pay one of the nomads to man the table. Like, say $10 off each by everybody's feet.
Whatever you have to do, Chet.
Well, yeah, because we'll make it up in the merch sales.
Yeah, you definitely should.
People will be buying merch. We have good merch.
I have faith in you guys, obviously. I wouldn't have gotten this show for you if I didn't. So, that being said, how aggressive do we want to push this out? Like, I still got some time to do some PR work. Do we want to really push, like, do you want to do recordings and, like, do a live or a subscription feed later on for it? How do you guys want to handle that?
Yeah.
Chet, do you want more money? Then I
Oh,
guess push it out.
I'll take 10 off the top of whatever we make. I mean, that's just the deal. I'll make it all happen. It's just that, do you want us to do that?
I don't give a rat's ass about money. I just want the corpse to know that we want to stick it to him.
If you're going to push it out, we've got no problem kicking it up to like an 11 or 12 out of 10 tonight to really get things off the map. I mean,
Yeah.
right, everybody? I mean, we're ready to fucking rock and roll here.
Just keep it in mind when you guys are up there. Like, if you guys do a lot of high energy and, like, really, really hammer the message home, I can use that to just propel everything.
We were born to do this, Chet.
Good. I've got 2 rooms for you guys, so some people have to double up. You got enough beds in them. And he'll actually pull, like, 2, like, little shoddy, old school, like, motel keys with, like, that weird fucking keychain thing, the big hard plastic. He just slides 2 of them onto the tables. I'll let you guys divvy those up however you want to do it.
How's the cockroach situation?
Ever present. I mean, he just kind of looks around the place.
Makes sense. I was hoping indoors meant no cockroaches, but fair enough.
Yeah, no, you're probably definitely gonna have some. But I'll get you guys some drinks before you head out. I'll get around for everybody, and I'm gonna go prep, and we're gonna head out. I'm gonna send the coordinates to Max's agent. Is that cool?
Yep.
All right. He'll get up. He'll go to the bar. He's like, "Hey, get a round of beer for the table." The bartender just stares at him. Yeah, is that what we're gonna do? Chet's like, "Don't fuck around." The answer is yes. That's what you're going to do, and yes, it's also on the room. So, you know who paid for it, right? The bartender just kind of nods. He's like, "Good. Don't forget it." He just kind of nods, and Chet heads out.
At the aggression here.
The bartender.
Stand, man.
He's gonna get himself shot.
The bartender comes around, drops off a beer like very firmly in front of each of you all, and then stands to the side and says, "I don't know how you're gonna drink it with those fancy masks on, but I'm willing to learn."
Z'll take out a metal straw, put it in the beer, put it to the lips.
I'm sorry, but CD will take the beer and pour it on the floor and drop the glass on the table like a smart ass.
Yeah.
Fox just isn't going to touch it.
Okay, guys. Enjoy your evening. I was trying to make a joke, but apparently you're just as big as assholes as he was, and he points out.
Yeah, you're just
Chet.
not funny.
Cool. Good to know. And he'll go back behind the
He's
bar.
selling us out later.
Right?
Just go and sit behind the bar. You
Why
guys
do you
have
think Z wasn't a dick about it?
You guys have about 3 hours, roughly. Well, 2 hours before you have to get to where you got to go.
Vox is going to go sit in the van all the way in the back in his bedroom and just sit on the bed. Kind of psyching himself up for it. That's pretty much all I'm going to be doing until we go.
What about sound check? Is there sound check?
Yeah. You guys got 2 hours before you're supposed to go live, so
Oh, just so you know,
And
Ray,
it's a half-hour drive, so.
yeah.
I have no keytar. This is a bag that has a machine gun, a sword, and a handgun in it. I don't give a shit about the turntable. I don't go anywhere without the guns.
Oh, fantastic.
I actually believed you. I was like, fuck guitar. Like, Jesus Christ,
He's got a guitar?
bringing the
Where did he
oldies
buy
back.
that?
Yeah, I could have a keytar. I could use it.
Like,
but,
nah, it's a fucking machine gun.
But that's not what's in that bag.
right.
Right.
It's a different
can't-
kind of keytar.
I
One that
can't
makes
walk
people
around
scream.
with a machine gun, but I can certainly walk around with a keytar bag that has a
I
machine gun.
can I keep my gun under since the vest that he's wearing is basically a trench coat vest with a hood.
Right.
So it's just tucked under there for mine.
Okay.
Behind the back, under the coat.
So is anybody taking anything to the rooms at the hotel? Or is it just like, fuck it, we're staying by the van in this little shitty ass bar for a second?
I don't really own anything personally, so I won't be taking anything to the room. Except
Stay
for
by the shitty ass bar for a second.
I trust my van more than I trust a fucking motel room. So the only time I'll be in the motel room is if I have my shit on me and I'm sleeping or something.
Okay.
Like that's where I'll go to crash at the end of the night after the show.
Fair enough. So back down by the van.
Yeah, I'm not staying in the rooms either.
Well, if you pick up if you bring back a groupie or something, like that's what the motel room is for.
That's
Like, I don't
fair.
know. I don't know what y'all's policy is on groupies, but that
They don't
option
go
is
in the
there, I
van.
guess. Right. Exactly.
Right,
Yeah, we don't.
yeah,
no,
not
no,
the
no,
van.
Go in the van.
It's personal, man.
So everybody's chilling by the van then. Fuck this place.
Oh, I'll finish my beer though.
By the river.
Yeah, once you guys get down by the van, you can see Chet's already taken off. His car's already gone.
Yeah, typical.
So,
I'll go wait in the
Sad.
van until we're ready to go.
right, essentially, nothing happens eventful at this place. You get a couple people wandering around, like buying and selling weapons and some drugs here and there. It's just obviously out in the open. Nobody gives a shit. You're outside of Night City. Who's gonna fucking stop you, right? The occasional car comes by. The highway is still like lively. It's not that late at night, so there's still gonna be vehicles going back and forth that you just hear and see just zoom right down the road in front of you. But as the time clicks down, it's pretty quiet here. This is a dull place. There's not a lot of gunfire you can hear in the distance. Unlike in Night City, there's always sirens and gunfire going off somewhere where you guys are able to stay. Here, it's a lot quieter. You can't see the stars still because there's fog and haze in the sky, and then you got light pollution from the parking lot lights. But it's a very different vibe than being in the city itself. For everybody except for Max. Max, you've been used to this. This is where you grew up. This is your background, right? So when you guys get ready to go and peel out of the parking lot, Max punches in the coordinates. Literally, it takes you about 5 or 6 miles down the road, and then you're off-roading for the rest of the way north. So as you guys drive down, again, it's just usual shit on the highway. Nothing too big, nothing too rough. It's just driving. So you make it down the highway, and you peel off where your agent lets you know you need to peel off. And as you start heading north, your reception keeps on sliding in and out. The communications towers out here are almost non-existent, or if they're there, they're usually shielded or encrypted for other people to use, not you. So probably about 5 minutes off of the main road, you lose all agent and cell reception from Night City.
Damn.
Good times.
All right.
This isn't a setup.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, what's the worst that could happen?
we don't
Start a riot and there's no corpse around for them to go trash.
We get shot in the face and die. That's the worst thing that can happen.
So
Just keep driving, pull off wherever, and
Max, can I get you to roll me a wilderness survival check
you sure can.
to see
Yeah,
what you
come on,
recognize from the
Max.
terrain and things like that? It's not going to be that difficult. So I'll put it probably like around a 10 or so.
It's gonna be a second while I go to my office and file some papers. I'll be right back.
So
With your
1,000
roll,
pardons for the cat.
you get a 15, which is great. But with the 15, you recognize that a lot of the terrain you're going through right now, there occasionally here and there what are remains of what probably used to be a service road back here. So it leads you to believe that you're probably heading in some sort of old encampment or maybe an old settlement or something of that nature. Something was off this road area before. It's not just like dirt that's been driven down by people just driving through here. So you start seeing remnants of old road. You start seeing signs that for you are easy to pick out that people have been around here. But for anybody who's not familiar with this type of area, it looks like it's been deserted as hell. You are traveling through well-traveled places is what it comes down to. So having been on the road with your family and having moved around with your Nomad family, you realize that this is probably their main camp right now that you're heading to. Just by the way that the ground's beaten down, by the fact that they use old service roads that, probably make it easier on the vehicles. Those types of things all rolled into one with your survival check just kind of leads you to believe that, yeah, this is probably a main camp.
All right.
Next 15 or so minutes pass as you finally crest these hills and like all these like ravines you're going in and out of as you travel through the desert. Your lights kind of crest a hill and come down onto an area that's just lit by campfires and just spread over an area. It looks like it was an old, like abandoned small town, like one of those like one road towns where it's like a main store, a convenience store, and like a couple houses put together. But these houses have long been abandoned. they're half shells. Like you may see some walls that are still standing and erect, some brick, structures here and there, but they're all, for the most part, been broken down. And now what you see is just a bunch of different types of vehicles just scattered among the place around the perimeter, essentially. And in the middle of it, towards the middle, a little off to one side, it looks like they've erected a makeshift stage. And you can tell it because they have a lot of lights that are actually kind of moving through the air, and they're trying to like fix them and configure them to actually shine properly on the stage for light. Nice. But you hear, even as you come in, like music is blaring over some speakers right now. They're just playing some random shit that somebody probably recorded, because there's no way in hell they're getting a signal out here.
All right, I want to pull in, and I want the van to be like behind the stage, like backstage.
Okay.
So that we can come out and do our shit, and then go out backstage, right into the van, and fuck off.
All right, so you kind of drive out and around, to one side of the camp. And as you're driving around the ring, you see a lot of different types of vehicles here. Nothing too serious, like there's no like tanks or anything like that, but a lot of the vehicles have been reinforced. And there are some, vehicles that have machine gun mountings and other types of weaponry and armor that's on it, which is really kind of par for course, to be completely honest, out here. For those of the uninitiated for this, think almost like Mad Max in some ways. So you've got like pieces of sheet metal that have been kind of put on the vehicles to like, protect the windows. You have spikes that are on the sides, by the driver's sides. And like some of the old school, like, trucks, they actually have a stand in the back, like machine gun nest in the back of it. Things like this are actually very common as you're driving around here. Then you get the occasional sports car, which are probably for like blockade running, souped up vehicles that are been really modified. For Polly's sake, these vehicles, they have a dedicated tech that's handling this shit. There's no way they don't, because there's no way anything here is factory.
Nope.
But you do manage to find a pathway towards the stage. You can't quite get super close to it, so you're maybe like a good 10 or so yards off, but you do find a place to park that's close enough to start dragging your equipment on over. And as you get over there, you see on the edge of the stage, which is literally just a bunch of like plywood platforms they put down and try to get level, you see Chet is standing there talking to what you assume to be El Pache. It's a really tall, muscular man who's wearing like just a sleeveless vest, smoking a cigar and just talking to Chet. Looks like they're talking business. You don't see Tyra anywhere. She's probably off doing her thing. But you guys park, get your stuff, and start basically hauling stuff to the stage.
Yep.
As you guys show up, you'll see there's two guys who are standing next to the stage as well, that when they see you, one guy's face lights up. It's like, holy shit, this is cool. This is fucking cool. Like, Leo, isn't this fucking awesome? And Leo, the guy that's being mentioned to, you can see like he's got some sort of faceplate, because you can see the lines from the cyberware on his face. A dark-skinned man, you can tell in the fire, the light that's around the stage and all that. The guy who's talking to him is probably of Hispanic descent, a little, duskier in complexion. And Leo's just like, yeah, Jose, just calm the fuck down, man. They just got here. Don't fucking start bothering them yet. He's like, no, this is fucking awesome. I when we were in town, I saw some of the data stuff. Leo's like, dude, shut up. You're embarrassing me. As you guys are walking
he's
up.
fanboying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But you guys walk up, they're like, hey. Jose's like, hey, guys, how's it going? Do you need help? Do you need some help? Leo, we can help, right? Leo's like, we're running security, man. We're not fucking roadies. Yeah, but, it's, 5 minutes? You guys need help, right?
Nah, we're okay, guys. You just chill, do your thing, hang out. We got it. We're good.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll be here if you need something. And Leo's just kind of like, fucking shut up.
I'll just put my hand on the guy's shoulder and we appreciate you. And I'll go up on stage and go to the mic and I'll start tuning myself. Because
That's a Zeal fist bump him as she walks past.
Yeah, the dude.
But I'll make sure to keep it at inaudible levels, but enough to where I hear myself, so I can tune myself without anybody.
You got your monitor going?
You got it.
So you guys start setting up your gear and start doing your sound check. Now, this will take some tech rolls for those who are here. It will be just a basic tech roll. Who wants to do the rolls for their shit?
I'll definitely.
Or you're leaving it to Polly?
Chris or Nate?
Ollie.
Whoever is our tech person can do it.
Well, I guess who's our tech person?
Does this constitute as basic tech?
Yes, it's basic tech.
And our tech person would be the tech, Polly.
I do have tech as well.
I also have tech.
Well, who wants to roll it? Or do you want to roll for your own stuff? That's totally fine.
I mean, I'll roll for my own stuff because, I got stuff hidden in places,
Whoever wants to roll for mine is more than welcome.
Yours is a microphone, so I'll
mine's
definitely
just a
roll for you
microphone,
as
just
well.
make
Here's
sure
a
it's working.
freaking microphone.
Your
Yeah, 'cause
microphone
my shit I
probably
tune.
goes into the mixer.
All right. So let's do CD's roll first to set up the DJ equipment and everything.
All right. All right. What
That's
am I
a
rolling
good
here?
point, Nate.
You're rolling
may
your
actually just-
basic tech. It's under your technique skills on your skills tab.
Okay.
I may just plug directly into his deck. Come to think
basic
of it.
tech.
You could.
So I just click the little D whatever over there.
Yep.
That's it. Okay. I have done this, and I have an outcome of 15.
Nice. We'll do Polly next.
I will go ahead and make sure that our lead singer is correctly jacked into the keyboard.
Okay.
I will then go and once Z is set up with her drums, I'll make sure that all the mics are spaced correctly and plugs are well done.
So just so we're aware, I'm monitoring how many successes you guys are getting for these rolls because it's going to count towards Jeff's performance when he uses his abilities during the show. So
I'll roll the basic tech to set up my drums then.
Yep. Damn.
Holy.
What the?
I'm damn good at what I do, apparently.
Percussion's
how.
on point. So
Right.
is Max setting up his stuff and like his monitor and his pedals, or is he having somebody else do it?
It would be in the best interest of the band if somebody else did it.
All right.
That's
I
why I
will
made somebody
go
else do
and
my
make
shit.
sure
This
that
is why we have Polly.
our lead shredder is set up
Okay.
well.
You
Thanks,
do.
man. I can never remember if it plugs in here or plugs in there. I don't know. I just play. I don't know.
He's
Thank
like
you.
plugging
Don't
the
worry about
output into like somebody else's monitor and
Yeah.
like fucking shit up.
Oh, dude.
It's like,
Yep.
what are you
Don't
doing?
forget,
Gets
this
threatened with
switch
a
right here
drumstick.
turns it on.
Right. This is the power button. Don't forget that one. All right.
That's the only one you need to touch.
So as you
And
guys
then
setting
I have
up,
to set up. And then I have to set up my own shit.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys fucking ace it. So as you guys are setting up, you see a lot of the nomads start to gather around some of the fires. Like I said, the clan's relatively large. And so there are fires all over the place, like little like drums and some bonfires they set up around the stage. People seem to be settling in. And you can see that Chet has been talking to the suite, the head of the clan, and he called over one of the younger guys who's wearing he's wearing a TNT shirt. And he gets told
Oh,
to
what a
work your
dick.
merch booth. Chet sees the T-shirt from his old band. Is like, you mother. No, it's cool. You can man the merch booth. Do good. And doesn't look happy. But there's a little booth getting set up with you guys' T-shirts and other merch for you, like some of your recordings, some of your, the stuff that you've done live, and maybe some like jam sessions you've done that you want to get out there for like more indie shit. So there's a lot of stuff that you guys can put out for sale, and you'll probably make some good deals off of that. And the tech check itself, since you guys scored so fucking well, gets done pretty quickly and goes off without a hitch. Like, you guys got some good rolls in there, so that's kudos for you all. As you finish up, you can see more and more people gathering. A couple of cars, you can hear them as they drive up and see the lights as they kind of go across the camp area and just kind of sweep over people. All in all, you're counting maybe about 70 or so people out there, and it's growing.
Not bad for flesh space.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sized clan they've got going on here. It looks like, and for Max actually, spotting this as your guitar and your pedals are getting set up by Polly, you're looking out there, like these are different branches of the same clan that are showing up. So it's not like this is everybody from this one area. These are people who have come from different parts of the Badlands that still work with this clan, that are still part of this family, that are coming for this celebration.
So this is one of the larger nomad families. then.
Yeah. In the Badlands at this point in time, yeah, it is. It's not like the Aldecados. It's not that big, but it's still pretty fucking big. And as you see them come in, people are bringing some pretty good liquor. Like, whatever hall they had that they're celebrating with this this event must have been really fucking good. Would you like to know more?
Sure.
Click.
I'd
Click
like to know
here.
more. Please click here.
More info is always better.
Well,
Yes.
let's see what would be appropriate for you as you are trying to pull some ideas in.
I do have something I just want to throw out there.
Yeah.
As far as skills go, I do have the human perception. I have a very high human perception. So I will be taking in what's going on around us as far as how the people are, how they're acting, their general mood, because I need to know how to manipulate that as the night goes on.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. It's a good call. And Sean, if you'd like to, for Max, roll your Streetwise.
Yeah. I will roll this as soon as I can find it.
Damn, Jeff.
So I rolled a 19. That'll work.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Give me a sec. You beat the 10 that I put out there for you. Give me 1 second. I got to roll something for somebody that's getting spotted. So why don't we go with actually persuasion? Chet is as cool as a cucumber.
He is straight up cool as a fucking cucumber.
So you're looking
Chat's a
around.
motherfucker.
And as you kind of scan the crowd and look over as everything's getting set up, you can see a couple of fans here and there because they're legit excited as you guys are doing your sound check and going through your setup. Like it's either they're fans of you or just the idea of being around live music is just a cool fucking thing. They're just here for it. Either way, they're getting amped up for the show. A lot of excitement in the air, and that buzz is growing. It's almost contagious as it starts going through the crowd. You do see, however, since she's not working on this, you find Tyra, and she's setting herself up. She's nervous. Like, she's nervous. And it's not like pre-show jitters. She's legit nervous. But it seems that Chet is talking with the head of the clan, and they're just shooting the shit. They're fine as fuck. They actually have a couch set up a little farther away from the stage, so they're sitting down that directly faces you guys. They're having drinks and just talking. For Max's role, for the Streetwise, you don't know what it was exactly, but you do manage to recall that somebody ripped off something from Militech recently. Like a convoy got hit and some shit got stole. It hit the gossip circuit essentially for a while because the family was talking about who the fuck would have done that, because that's ballsy. And it definitely wasn't you guys. May have been these guys. The timelines match up a little bit, so maybe that's what they're celebrating. They just hit a Militech convoy and got away with it.
All right.
Well, as I set up, I'm going to make it my duty to just get a feel for the tactics I might need to use to get the fuck out of here real quick if shit goes down.
Okay. Go and roll your tactics.
I'm going to approach Tyra.
I got a 7.
Well, there's the obvious that you're going to catch. And that is the fact that Chet. Jeez, I called Sean Chet. Max made sure to park the van as close as he possibly could to the stage. And it's parked backed up towards the stage. It's like maybe 10 yards away.
Okay, good deal. Well, we'll do our best.
Yep.
30 feet. You could make that.
So as you guys are finishing up and just double checking some stuff, you see Vox kind of scans the crowd, then he hops down and starts wading through the crowd of nomads. You come up towards Tyra, and she's kind of across. So if we have the stage, and then we have like the merch booth on the side of the stage, she's a little further across the way from that, further down between like what was probably an old street at some point in time, but it's all covered with like dirt and dust from the desert now. And she's just kind of on the other side of a bonfire, getting good angles for like capturing the scene. And she sees you walk up. She's like, "Hey, actually, step just on the other side of the fire. I want to get a good shot of you."
I'll step on the other side of the fire and kind of a similar pose to that right there.
She's that's what badass looking.
Stoic. Right.
She takes a couple pictures from different angles from the other side of the bonfire to get like the flames like lining inside of your face just the right way. Maybe it takes like 2 or 3 minutes.
I'll walk up to her and I'll put my hand on her face, and I'll just look at her with those baleful orange fucking eyes of the mask. Tell me, what bothers you so?
I don't like being out of
You
the
can
city.
tell Vox anything. I'll roll persuasion. If she's hiding anything from me, I would like her to come clean because I'm a good guy, right? Vox Tone is the fucking man.
God damn.
Vox Tone is the fucking man.
Dude, not cool.
Damn.
So you're fucking with her, and she looks at you. You roll a fucking 20. She looks at you, and then you see her kind of look away, like almost that guilty look. She's like, Chet set some stuff up here tonight that I don't like being a part of.
Oh, what did he set up?
I don't know, but he told me to be right with the camera for when shit goes down.
I appreciate the warning. I'll kind of rub my hand down her cheek, and I'll kind of lean in for a very uncomfortable metallic hug because I'm all like, through what I'm wearing, like you can tell from the mask, that's actually the cyberware that goes through my throat.
Okay.
You're such a creeper.
But
Yeah.
I'll give her that soft metallic hug because the majority of my setup is metal, and then I'll walk away. And as I'm walking away, I'll say, and I will not as it won't fade as I'm walking away. I'll fade it out in my voice like I'm walking further away than I am, and I'll just say, "I love you."
I don't like that he
You're
does.
such a
I don't like that he does any of that. And when I see him hugging that poor girl, I'm gonna hit like the most grating, percussive note on the pad just to like annoy the shit out of him.
Z will join him. Just constantly going at the symbol
be
like,
smiling.
motherfucker.
I'll be smiling under my mask because I love
Cowbell.
fucking with people. Like, how could a rocker boy not love fucking with people?
Guys, I did not know this was going to take this turn. I just,
The bassist has to support our lead singer with a good bass horn vibe.
And that'll wrap our first episode for our Cyberpunk game. The band has now set everything up. They're getting ready to put on their show. Vox noticed a little bit of something weird with Tyra, their PR person for Chet. Sorry, Chet, their manager. And that's where we wrap. Things got a little bit tense towards the end as people got creeped out by Vox. But as Tyra did say, Chet set something up for the concert that they will have to deal with in our next episode. So we'll see you then, and we'll see exactly what the hell it is that goes down.